Hello and welcome to the podcast Agents of Impact. I am your host Akash Mishra. In this podcast, we celebrate the remarkable people harnessing Salesforce's Agent Force to redefine service, support, and impact across the world. Today, we are honored to welcome a very special guest, Justin Bars, President of Apsona, for this episode of our podcast Agents of Impact. As President of Apsona, Justin leads a transformative software company that is revolutionizing how organizations manage their Salesforce data. With over 15 years in the SaaS industry, he has helped Apsona become a trusted catalyst for Salesforce's success. Let's hear his journey of becoming powerful tools and building powerful tools that helps nonprofits, businesses, and changemakers achieve more with Salesforce. Welcome to the show, Justin. My opening question to you would be just in looking back, what experiences have more shaped your leadership approach in the tech industry and Salesforce ecosystem?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Akash. I think most of us in the impact space, right? Most of it impact and wanting to create more impact with our leadership and our leverage, often come out of the nonprofit and the impact focused space there. So after years of experience in YMCA's and parachurch ministries and nonprofits, being sometimes a self-starter, an entrepreneur, a person that's creating change and leading initiatives, I think moving that into the technology space for me, where that first showed up as an experience that shaped my leadership approach was my first train ride on Amtrak with folks like Judy Sohn, Tom Taylor, a number of folks going my first NPSP sprint. This was riding the train from Philadelphia to Washington, D.C., and I met several other leaders in the space and how they were influencing change as well. They were creating impact as consultants, as staff that worked at Salesforce, as their own agents of impact, and this was 15 years ago. But I realized this is a community of leaders. Like these folks are like yourself, Akash. They're trying to sort of stimulate change, create community, Salesforce MVPs and more. And I realized like, wow, this is a welcome space. Like this reminds me of the nonprofit work that I do in real life in other places. Now it's actually able to do it here in the technology space, creating change through digital options, through agents, et cetera. One of my biggest experiences after doing that was first joining sort of the ecosystem. After I joined the ecosystem, I went to my first user group. Going to user groups, I realized, wow, people are looking for leaders, looking for change. And the user group leadership experience for me when I joined my first user group was incredible and fun. And I realized, hey, I can start my own user group as well.
Wow.
And that was a business experience for me. So if you don't go to a user group, find one, connect with people, show up, spend the extra hour being a networker, and just meet people and share your story. For me, it was an eye-opening experience. My second big option, just to be really transparent, was consulting. I realized that there's no better way to sort of hone your skills and to grow as a leader than being in a place where people are looking to you and expecting you to create value from your Salesforce knowledge. Maybe it's an AI agent, maybe it's a dashboard, maybe it's a way to use data in a new way. But being a consultant and being paid to sort of think for the client and solve problems for them was an incredible experience for me. I was a consultant for 9 years, and it was a huge experience for me. And it's where I met you, Akash, my journey there.
Pleasure is all mine. And while you mentioned vision, let's uh, dive into another question. I want to know what is the core mission and vision of Apsona today? And how do you ensure the products continue to create real value for customers?
Yeah, I love this. So this is my roller coaster ride. I am loving my role at Apsona. I've been here for 4 years. Like they say in the Rogaine commercials, not only am I a customer or an employee, I was actually a customer too. I joined Apsona after using the product to create value for customers in the space. So when I met you, Akash, I was building reports, I was building documents, I was creating data outcomes. So the vision of Apsona is we want to create ways for organizations to leverage their Salesforce data for strategic decision making. We want to basically say, hey, data is everywhere. Data Force and Data Cloud and a million things. And it's a lot to sort of take in at once. Apsona has a vision to say, we want to transform the way you think about your data. Then instead of just, oh, it's here, it's there, it's everywhere, we want to say, we can help you make decisions almost as a new service platform. What if instead of changemakers as a service, we provided decision-making as a service and helped you take every piece of data that's in your Salesforce environment, every opportunity, every contact, every impact related record, every donation, every program management record, and actually created value of that for your decision makers so that your team can say, hey, I can see my data, I can transform it, I can adjust it, I can understand it, I can report from it, I can generate great documents from it and sort of hand those to my customers, to my donors, to my board members. I can create impact through the way I use my data. That I think is the power of Salesforce, making this data more effective for their teams. We've been a company doing this for 13 or 14 years. We love what we do, and we're just continuing to sort of zero in on that as our continually growing customers are coming back to us and saying, here's what we could do better. Here's how we could do better. So recently this year in Q2, our CTO, Akhil Sikri, launched our product roadmap. We also launched our trust.apsona.com. Actually, let me double check the website on that. Our Trust Apsona website as well to show our service status. So we're sort of pushing more and more resources out to our customers and partners so they can see and reference how to get more out of Apsona.
This is really awesome, and let's cheer for Apsona. So, Justin, how do you approach product development? Do you even take part in making those important decisions at Apsona, especially when balancing customer needs with technological possibilities and constraints? Also, with this a world where we are talking about AI, that is the buzzword, Agent Force, Agentic AI, generative AI. What do you think? Uh, what should be the strategy behind the product development, and how is it done in Apsona?
Yeah, absolutely. So the first thing we do is we find people that are smarter than me to think about this and to figure it out too. Some of those smarter people are our customers. Some of them are our partners. So we've led and hosted successive calls and conferences where we've met with universities, with customers across the corporate space, with nonprofits. Nonprofits are one of our favorite verticals. We've been there for years and years, and we've loved the impact that we're able to create with nonprofits. But talking to those customers, we find gaps in our product. We find spaces and places to sort of create more value with their Salesforce data. We understand that our customers have a broad set of features to choose from Salesforce and from other applications. Our zeroing in is being the best data reporting and doc gen platform out there. We realize that Apsona is in a unique space where we're not just a doc gen, we're not just reporting, we're not just data. If we do all three really well and we create ways for our customers and our partners to do that, they can actually transform the way they use data for decision making and for leveraging their data for better use. So in terms of product development, we rely heavily on our customers and feedback, hence the launch of our product roadmap. We do a lot of discovery calls and conversations. So every discovery call I'm on where we uncover a new need through our engineering team, we'll bring that back to our product support team and our product review. And that's actually where our Agentic-AI sort of research as well. We're pushing on that in our internal team saying, how do we actually want to leverage the best way to automate and make Agentic-AI a more effective use with Apsona? So I'm going to keep it under wraps for now. We have something we're hoping to sort of bring more out to the market later this year or Q1. But the general focus for us is where do we just sort of create more value for customers? Your everyday Salesforce user that's looking at their data and trying to say, how do I understand this? How do I do this faster? Maybe it's creating a document generation more automatically through some voice prompts. Maybe it's asking and querying information through a report. There's a lot out there that could be done, but our goal is to simply say the 80% of tasks that our users, Salesforce users, are doing over and over and over again, how do we make that faster for them with Apsona's power?
That's great. So, how is Apsona integrating AI into its products? Is it a work in progress, and is there a different team who takes care? And how much investment or how much thoughts have been given into the AI adoption from Apsona?
Yeah, yeah. Our main focus right now is discovery. So we're still in the research and development phase. We're aware that it's a big push, and we're getting behind that. We also realize that as Salesforce develops their products and other companies do too, our goal is to sort of fit in a very specific niche space where Apsona fits as a data tool first, right? Cleaning your data, reviewing your data, understanding your data. All right, let's take that as an agentic AI and say, where is the best value we can create? Hey, we have 50 Salesforce users. They're reviewing, adjusting, transforming their data. What are the fastest and easiest ways for AI to apply there? And then if we shift all the way to the other end of the spectrum and say, what about Tableau and Tableau Next? Like there's spaces in that space where Salesforce users are going to be able to go to Tableau Next to get some very specific agentic AI support. We want to be able to say Apsona fits in a space before that by being able to say reporting needs, document generation needs. We're simply trying to sort of smooth the way and speed up the way for customers to get out of Apsona what they need while being complementary to the Salesforce features. So we understand there's lots of tools out there. Our main goal is to say Salesforce is an incredible platform. All of the Agentforce outcomes that are come from Salesforce, we want to add on to that and make sure that we're benefiting customers with all of their product mixes.
Great. And let me tell you, I have used Apsona, and while I was answering in the Power of Us hub, I have
Mhm.
recommended Apsona to many of the nonprofits, smaller size nonprofits and medium sized nonprofits, as a tool where they can migrate data, they can see their reporting snapshots, create the reports,
Mhm.
and we really found it very helpful. And that is the common perspective that I've heard across multiple customers who use Apsona. So it is an
Yeah.
incredible tool altogether. So
Yeah.
what?
If I Oftentimes I have to sort of explain it in an elevator pitch. I generally say it's like a spreadsheet in your Salesforce instance, but you don't actually have to add anything else. So it's already in Salesforce, your data is already there, it's protected. It's like having Excel in your own Salesforce instance, wherever and whenever you need it. And then you take the next step and saying complicated reports, complicated documents you need to generate, all of those are simply a button away. So our goal is to sort of bring decision making as close as possible to that end user, not forcing them to go log into a different app, clicking a different page, giving them all of their decisionable activity in one space in Salesforce.
This really makes so much sense when it comes to the user experience, actually, and
Mhm.
that's the reason we all love Apsona so much. Uh,
Yeah.
what?
AI is the same way, right? AI is supposed to make it faster and easier to do things, but we often receive technology overload and we're
Yeah.
overwhelmed by how many choices we have. And we just realized Salesforce is such an incredible platform and Apsona is an in-app application. All of our applications and all of our features are like really easy to set up and use. So we're looking forward to the next 2 years of development. This is going to be a lot of fun.
Great. What is the most important leadership lesson you have learned that building products or teams in Salesforce space should people who are building those products and building different teams in the Salesforce space should keep in mind?
Yeah, love the question. I think the leadership lesson that I've learned the most in this product space, right? So in my prior experience, I was a consultant. I was using lots of Salesforce apps and lots of Salesforce features, lots of other apps as well, and saying this is what I'm trying to build and sort of create for that. In my past 4 years at Apsona, my I would say my mind has been blown, but I've also been very aware of like here's the thousands of customers that we have at Apsona, and here's how they're experiencing their data every day. So most of my leadership lessons there are to say, I see decision makers, stakeholders, sometimes partners as well, saying, "Hey, here's what we want to do. Here's how we want to get there." But then oftentimes that trickle down experience of like the vision of a product, the vision of Salesforce, you read as right 360-degree view of a constituent, Agentforce experience still needs to be driven by that end user, right? The
Yeah.
salesperson, the gift officer, the impact officer, the individual that's sort of making change in your organization. How are they interacting with the user experience? How do they have the UI? How many clicks does it take for them to save the grant record or the donation record or to log a call? And we realized in Apsona world, that's a focus on data. How is it that they need a pivot chart in a moment's notice, and can they click a button and get a pivot chart to pop out instead of clicking sales run report, change it to an Excel file, change it to a pivot chart. So the leadership lessons from my perspective are zero in on your lowest common denominator of change, which for me at an impact level is our staff. Your staff, your Salesforce users, the folks using your data every day, if you zero in on them and serve them really well, the aggregated returns you get from them are enormous. But oftentimes it's hard to get that trickle down effect all the way down to the end user and how they use their data.
Great. This is just a wrap up question. This is the final question that I'm going to ask you and trouble you with. So, how do
Sure.
you personally define meaningful impact, and how does that influence the way you lead your organization?
Yeah, thanks for that. Um, I will often be the first to admit that leadership is a journey rife with lots of experiences, lots of highs and lots of lows. My friend Tim Lockey, who we both met through, Tim Lockey made a great conversational point to me early on in my career when I was a consultant at his organization. And it was as leaders, our role is to make decisions. And we can just assume if you split decisions down the middle and half of them are going to be good decisions or right and half of them are going to be wrong decisions, you just sort of get over yourself and get over the fact that you'll make bad decisions and then recover from them. I think impact for me realizes or starts with the idea that you are a person in motion. You are a growth curve. You are in a point in your life and in the trajectory. If you look over your shoulder, you've conquered things that you never thought were possible, or maybe you could have conquered things, or you may have failed at things, and you're the person today based on those things. And as you look into the future, the impact that you can create comes from every decision you make. So I define meaningful impact by creating decision-making activators. Our team is zeroed in on how do we help you make better decisions? How do I help my team? We actually talked about it today in our sales DSU. Our solution engineer, Lori, we said, how does this person use this information to make a better decision on how to enable this customer? How do we give them better decision-making information in front of them? Because that's their job as a leader, make decisions day in and day out to serve, to create value, and to do more work. I've had a lot of great experiences. I've had a lot of humbling experiences on my time at Apsona, but for me, it's cloaked in that experience of gratefulness and thankfulness, realizing, wow, what an incredible place we live in to work in the Salesforce space and create value for customers, making them more effective with their data, with their Salesforce users, and creating impact in the world. It's a lot of fun.
Amazing. So that's it for now. Those are all the questions I wanted to share with the community, and that's all for today's episode of Agents of Impact. A heartfelt thank you to Justin Bars for sharing your thoughts and wisdom with us today and our audience today. There has been years of learning that you have shared, and your wisdom is going to help us a long way. Conversations like these remind us that technology builds tools. It's people like Justin who build hope and possibility. And if this conversation inspired you, please follow and subscribe and share it with someone who needs a spark of hope today. Until next time, keep leading with purpose, building with heart. This is Akash Mishra signing off from Agents of Impact. Thank you.